Hey guys, and welcome back to Deku Tarot and to your weekly tarot reading and astrology for April 27th through May 2nd of 2020. Last week of April, we're in Taurus season. I have my George Costanza candle here, my Lamb of God Costanza here that I got for my birthday. 2020, it was supposed to be the summer of George. So I put that up here just for the astrology half. I'll probably take it away when we get into the readings just because I don't want to waste any bit of this. I love this. And I did get it for my birthday this past week. So happy birthday to all Tauruses celebrating as well. Let's get into your astrology here. If you haven't, do make sure to subscribe. Do make sure to share the videos if you enjoyed it. And check out your readings for your sun, your moon, your rising, and your Venus. If you want to book a private reading, all my info is below. And I am taking 20% off during this pandemic time. And I'll talk a little bit about the astrology analysis through Truly Divine and how you can get 30% off at the end, okay? So let's get into this here with the astrology, all right? Monday, April 27th, we're starting off the week with the moon in Cancer. You also have Mercury moving into Taurus, which is pretty big here. So that's going to bring about a lot more prudent, methodical, practical thinking and execution. We're going to be a lot more tenacious, unlikely to change our mind and where we're directing our energy at this time. We're going to be taking our time to establish conclusions and judgments with Mercury in Taurus because it does bring up this more dogmaticism, this slow, silent processes that are going to be a lot more common in terms of making a decision, changing direction, in terms of, again, where we're directing our energy in general here. So judgments formed during this time will probably end up sticking and not changing. On Tuesday, April 28th, we have a couple of things here, mostly small stuff until Wednesday. Sun in Taurus sextiling the moon in Cancer, bringing up equality and ability to deal well with all. We're going to be feeling at home and looking towards friends and family for any support or help at this time. We also have Mercury in Taurus squaring Saturn in Aquarius, bringing up some more quarrelsome, greedy, and suspicious energies. Wednesday, April 29th, which is going to be pretty big here, we do have Saturn retrograding beginning on Capricorn. I feel like I said that super weird. Saturn retrograde begins on Capricorn. All right. I feel like you can't say it right anyway. Anyways, delays resulting in your long-term plans. Fear of failure might come up here, and this more self-deprecation, provoking a lot of self-punishment. So watch out for that while Saturn's retrograding in Capricorn at this time. I'm not sure exactly when that ends. For some reason, I didn't write it down. I do apologize. So let's move on now here. We also have the moon in Cancer on that same day, opposite Pluto in Capricorn, bringing up more one-sided views of emotions, feeling dejected, and having more addictions to pleasure and self-indulgence as a reaction. We also have the moon in Leo opposite Saturn and Aquarius on this day, bringing again this this dissatisfied, introverted, more depressed, and low energy due to perceived restrictions here. So Wednesday could be a little bit Thursday, April 30th, we have the moon in Leo squaring Mercury in Taurus here. So spiritual gifts are going to be in focus here, and we're going to be less superficial and hasty. We also have the moon in Leo squaring Uranus in Taurus, which is going to bring up eccentric, headstrong, capricious, intense energy here. Could also bring up some derailments of relationships, so watch out for that. We also have Mercury in Taurus conjuncting Uranus in Taurus. So both of them being in Taurus, it's going to make us more progressive, unconventional, creative, inventive, and intuitive here. It's going to bring up this more adaptability and agile mindset, which is interesting for all this Taurus energy, but Uranus and Taurus really brings in that opposite again, adaptable, non-traditional energy. So we're going to be ignoring the traditional here. And that's pretty much all the big stuff going on this week in terms of astrology. So from here forward, we're going to be talking the tarot for the week, all right? Hey Aries, Aries Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. We're using the Morgan Greer for your tarot look at the week ahead, April 27th through May 2nd. All right, and actually before we get too into this, I have a little funny story. My mother sent me this as one of my gifts in the mail, because my birthday was this past week, and I wonder if any of you are looking at this and you already know what it is, but this is actually a napkin from one of Guy Fieri's restaurants that my mom stole and then sent to me. So she thought I could use this as a cloth to wrap my tarot in. So now I have a stolen napkin from Flavortown. Just thought that was a silly little story there. Thought you guys would enjoy the story behind this very interesting cloth. All right, Aries. So, looking at your week ahead, it's pretty progressive. And I think you'll agree when you see these cards. Let's pull a couple more here. All right, interesting read here. As always, okay, so your focus this week is Eight of Pentacles, work. A lot of you might be very focused on work, on career this week, on building yourself up, even physically, because, again, Pentacles are material, physical. It could have a lot to do with your body health. But for a lot of you, I'm really getting the sense of a focus on career, a focus on getting work done. Some of you might be very busy in these areas. You might have a lot going on. You're just going to be very, very busy and needing to just continue to knock out those pentacles at the pace you've been doing it at you know, the level you've been doing it at, and just continuing to showcase your skill and ability to keep going. So Eight of Pentacles is a lot of work, yes, but it is your craftsmanship, it is your skill. So we're focusing on our skill sets and working on those this week. Your emotional, how you're feeling here, Six of Swords. We're moving forward. We're moving away from the troubled waters to much calmer horizons here. We're moving forward at this new horizon. You can kind of see it in the distance here. I love the Six of Swords in the Morgan Beer. It's very beautiful. And the blue brings this sense of peace as well because it's so heavy on that color blue here. There's a lot of yellow and blue in your reading this week. So there's a lot of positivity, joy, happiness, abundance of energy, and yet there's also a depth of emotion and a sense of calmness that's coming to things this week. So I really like this. We're also leaving some situations behind, maybe even leaving some past ways of doing things, things we've held on to behind, anything that we were fighting to keep around or that has, you know, even hurt us. We're moving on from it, moving on from anything that has hurt us, had been an issue before. Career is looking interesting but good. It does ask you to work hard. It asks you to defy the devil in the situation, which is right amidst the Three of Wands, which is actually before it, and then we have the Strength card at the end there. So Three of Wands is taking things in new directions. It's the activity of progression. It's, you know, we've gone these other two ways before. Now we're moving forward in a brand new direction. It shows action being taken. So again, a lot of action in new directions this week, especially to devil situations at work, situations where we feel stuck, trapped in a negative situation with a negative boss, somebody that never seems to be pleased, a situation that never seems to end and never seems to culminate in a victory for us. So the devil has us a little bit trapped here in a situation, and I do think that we're going to need to just persevere and have some strength this week. It might be a bit daunting with the work, and that might be why the devil is coming up. And in the future, we might need to look at, you know, how we're working, why we're working this way, and if this is something that we can continue to do every day, or if it's just eating away at us in this devil situation. However, I feel like it's a little bit more of a smaller fish type of thing, where we're dealing with some annoying things this week. We're dealing with difficult situations and a lot of work that needs to be done at a very quick pace probably here. And we're going to need to have some courage, perseverance, and strength to not let it get to us, not let us knock us down, not let us drive us to a point where we don't believe we can do this, we don't believe we can get through this, or we're starting to, you know, phone it in with the effort, okay? Just keep on going, especially if, you know, your job is asking a lot of you this week. I feel it'll be very good for you in the long run here to just push through this, to not let the little things get to you, and to work through any devil situation that you have to with, again, this card of strength here, which doesn't let the negativity get to it. We deal with it in the most positive way, with a gentle hand, by keep going, by continuing to do things in the best way possible, and by defeating these inner forces that kind of drive us to do negative things or adhere to bad tendencies, unhealthy tendencies. Love and relationship, Hangman comes up here, so we might need to pause and look at things from someone else's perspective. We might not see a lot of progression there. We might feel that things are a bit hung up, you know, put out to dry for now, and not really, again, we're not really progressing, not moving forward together, not experiencing a lot of newness there. But I feel by the end of the week here, we might be feeling this for a great part of the week, and we do have some kind of more frustrating astrology this week. But Six of Pentacles is there. So if we want, you know, progression, we want things to work out, we want to balance things out, we need to be willing to give a little to get a little, to work with the other person, to work with whoever it is we're dealing with. We could also be receiving some reciprocation that we've been waiting for in terms of love, or hearing from somebody, getting something from somebody even, or even again, I feel like seeing somebody in a lot of ways, because it is Six of Pentacles, the material. So for some of you, you haven't seen someone in a long time, you haven't heard from them, and you know, if you do reach out and you say you'd like to see them or whatever, I think that you will get reciprocated very well here, and that you will experience some balance, some, again, reciprocation. I know I keep saying that word within relationship here, but we have to pause and look at it from the other person's perspective, and again, be willing to give a little to get a little. Your advice this week is interesting. Two of Swords and the Moon. Very strange combination. It does feel that, you know, that with some frustrations, you know, it might feel that our darkness, our fears are a little bit magnified at this time. It might feel a little bit daunting to make a decision, and we might have to feel our way through this decision above all else. We might not be able to see a path moving forward. We might have to, again, look at this from a more intuitive perspective and wait for things to culminate more. We might be experiencing, I know I needed to make a decision, I know I need to go one way or the other, but I'm not really sure when and what that is right now. And I think that's okay. I think it's more of a pause that we do need to take, and I'm going to pull one more on that. But decisions that you need to make, you're going to have to rely on your more watery side with the Moon. You're going to need to rely on your emotions, on your intuition, on how you're feeling, and really look to why certain anxieties and fears come up, as to why we, you know, in regards and in reaction to the position that we're in, the crossroads that we're at. The Fool. You're going to need to rely on that energy, that everything will work itself out in the long run, and that right now we just need to continue pressing forward with the positive inner forces here, and kind of, you know, keep, again, I really like how it's like half yellow, half blue here. It feels like a very balanced energy for you this week that you can find amidst a lot of frustration, amidst a lot of difficult situations, and what feels like an inability to really progress past a certain crossroad here. But the Fool is your energy. It's the first card out. It denotes, you know, just stepping into something and not worrying about, you know, the end game, where this is going to take us. We're ready for an adventure. We're ready for something new, and we're ready for wherever this is going to take us without worry. We turn our head away from the worries, away from any, you know, red flags even, which in some cases you might need to at this time, because not everything is as it seems when the Moon shows up. So let's pull a Adoring Virtue card for some love this week. Aries, Aries, Aries. What have you guys been doing to keep busy during this quarantine? Ooh. If you're interested, I work with Truly Divine, which is an amazing astrology and numerology analysis service, and they are incredible. You can use my code Deku30 as many times as you want, give it to as many people, and get a lot of change off there on some amazing, again, numerology, astrology analysis, compatibility. It's been really fun to check that out during the quarantine when there's nothing else to do and I just want to learn more about it. So check that out, guys. It's in my description box below. Anyways, make the effort here comes up. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. So that's really what I'm getting here with that Hanged Man and Six of Pentacles. You might need to, again, pause a lot more. Take things slower. It is Taurus season. I know, you know, we wanted to rush around in your season, and it was probably hard to do with the whole global situation. So we might be feeling very backed up with our energy. Like, I want to do this. I want to be running forward. I want to be doing all these things right now, and I feel very stuck. But we need to take things slower right now. We need to stay grounded and not let that pushing, I need to do all this, get to us. We have to pause. We have to take our time to balance these things out, to really look at things, to really look at the balance between us and make the effort that needs to be made when we finally see what the effort is that needs to be made. You know what I mean? All right, so let's pull a Lindsay Andrews Oracle deck card. I'm feeling one of those. Can I pick up all these cards? For some reason, I can't. There we go. Oh, okay. Messages of guidance for my Aries. Ooh, we get masculine. Interesting. Masculine. Carrying your gift of consciousness from the heart of woman of Mother Earth, trek toward the summit of higher knowledge. Because of male and female imbalances, the Earth is in danger of dying. Remember that the power of the masculine explodes as the power of the feminine implodes, and a sacred spiral of life is set into motion. One cannot live without the other. The masculine god is in search of the feminine goddess. He brings gifts of driving force to her powers of intuition, creative receptivity. Both are equal warriors in the fight against ignorance, balancing your masculine and feminine energies through meditation and awareness of when you are carrying a male or female shield. This is your struggle in life and a great source of power for you. So this is really nice. And again, like I said, there's that yellow and blue balance. There's a very distinct balance for you guys this week. You're not overly like I was saying, like this frustrated, like Aries, intense masculine energy. There's a lot of tempering down of that with this more relaxed, intuitive push and this more grounded, watery, let's relax, let's look at things in a different way, let's not push it too much, okay? So it's really nice. Good week for you guys, Aries. And thank you guys so much for all of your support. Do make sure to subscribe, share the video. If you want to book a private reading, guys, all of that information is always right below in my description box. And again, I'm taking 20% off of all of my readings right now, just to help out during this whole pandemic global situation. Do check out Truly Divine. They are an incredible astrology and numerology service. They do analysis just for yourself, for your life path number. They also do compatibility analysis for numerology as well as astrology. And the astrology one was just like, I mean, they were both incredible, but I still am going back and reading it. I started rereading my own astrology analysis this past week again, and it's just incredible. So do check them out, guys. You can get 30% off with my code Deku30. You can use it as many times as you want. You don't just have to use it once. You can give it to as many friends. They can use it. So do take advantage of that. They are the best astrology and numerology analysis system I have ever used, and I get readings, and I've had analysis done by people in person for astrology and numerology, and they just blow them all out of the water. So definitely check out their services. I'm really impressed by them, and I'm really happy I get to work with them. So check that out, guys. Make sure to subscribe, and have a wonderful and blessed week. Alrighty. Namaste.